Hey everybody, we're this is going to be let's see, AWT TV episode 49. Believe it or not, we've done this 49 times. I'm Steve Sandy. We're going to get this started here in about 7 minutes. I'm just starting things up a little bit early to make sure everything's working, and this should be fun. Looking for my other goodies here that'll let me do some fun things. And keep tapping on the screen there and it's shaking. May have to get a better mount for my iPad Pro here. A little bit of a problem. What I'm looking for is a video, which you're all familiar with. And that's our AWT TV intros here. So we'll see if we can actually play this thing, and then I may play it again later, just to annoy people. It's kind of fun. And that was fun, wasn't it? You haven't heard that in a while. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Marty here. There he is. And there he is. And I think he'll be coming in here shortly. Mr. Marty, how are you doing?
Doing fine. I had to unmute the mic there.
I was going, you're real quiet there.
Yeah. I did not hear the Apple World Today theme. I can see you, so I don't. It was a blank screen, so I don't know if it played or not.
On my end, it looked like it was playing, but you never know.
I hadn't been promoted to panelist yet. Somewhere in the new year, I've been demoted to nothing. I don't even know what's lower.
Well, I'm kind of getting used to the user interface is definitely a little bit different on the iOS version of this than it is on the Mac version. So it's kind of interesting to see. But it looks like we can switch back and forth between us here. Whoa, that's going to get people sick to their stomachs probably more than anything. And let me just check my other buttons here.
Well, at least on the Mac, I have a gallery view where we're side by side, like we used to be.
Weird. I wonder if I can set that up. Let's see here. Virtual background. Let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. Remember that one?
Oh, that looks nice.
Steve in space. Yeah, there we go. I don't know where my other one is, but that's better than this or that.
Hey, you're in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I have the Golden Gate Bridge going through my head, which is kind of interesting. So I think I'll go back into space here.
Well, I'm going to send you a quick text on how it looks for me.
Okay.
Everything.
I'm just sitting here trying to, green screen. There we go. That came out much better. And he sent me a text here. Well, hopefully it's looking that way on the to the viewers. And the only way we'd be able to find out is if one of us goes over to Facebook.
I don't have Facebook installed. Well, nothing. It's not on my phone or anything.
Let's see here. Yeah. So that looks. I think the background looks better now. It's
yeah, I'll send you that one because I was just green screen a while ago. That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Let's see. We've got other things here. We haven't started yet. If anybody's out here watching, we really haven't started. We're just kind of playing around here. But we'll get started here in a minute. There's another. Oh yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I just want to show you what we look like there.
I look like I need to lose weight. Other than that,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
you're a true gentleman, you know.
You look like you did last year. That's all I know. So.
Oh, wait a second. I can switch mine to gallery view here. There we go. So now I'm seeing that too. So
Okay,
hopefully that's what's going to end up going out to the many, many viewers, the hundreds of thousands of viewers out there.
wow.
I was going to ask you, you know, if you really, really want me to, I could play the great theme song again.
You know, I was thinking the other day, seriously, I haven't heard that in months. That'd be nice to hear.
Yeah, you can kind of, you know, head bash to it there. And
I can hear it in my head.
Let's see here. I'm trying to get this camera set up right. So, let's see if I do a little bit over this way. There we go. I keep getting this.
Can't hear you. If you can hear me. Man, I don't know if you can hear me, but you've frozen up.
Hey, we're back. Can you hear me?
I can. The green screen is your shirt's disappeared, and I can see. Looks like you have on a shirt from the '70s.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Wow. Oh, look.
Yeah, psychedelic.
Yeah, something going on there. Let's see. Well, at least we're working out all the problems. That's interesting. Okay. Let me turn green screen off. We'll turn green screen back on. There we go. That's more like it. Even though I did like the stars in my mouth, that was really kind of a cool thing. Okay, for some strange reason, I'm not getting sound. Okay, say something.
Hello.
Yeah, it's coming out of that's weird. It's coming out of the iPad speaker instead of my speaker, but that's okay. I don't care. Either way, we're good. I'm going to go ahead now and I will play our wonderful little song and dance, and we'll have a great time, and we'll all do some head bashing to it. For those of you who really missed the AWT TV intro titles, here we go. And I can't hear them.
I can't hear or see it.
It's weird. I can see them, but I can't hear it. Something went wacky with the sound.
Well, I know what my first comment will be tonight as far as Apple stuff.
Well, we're getting close here. Apple World today. And we're back. Hi, everybody. This is Steve Sandy, and that guy is Marty Edwards, and we're here for AWT TV episode 49. It is January 8th, 2019. Hard to believe we're in the future, but we are. I'm actually on a space station. You can see the star or the Earth behind me, and Marty's down on Earth.
Yes, I am. I holding down the fort. So it's good to be. It's good to be back for the new year, and hopefully got some viewers on Facebook, and hopefully we'll be back on YouTube soon.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. This is being recorded, so I should be able to download the recording and get it out on YouTube, and life will be good. The big thing is they're just not letting us do any more live streaming, but we've talked about that before. Let's talk about.
We can before long, I think. So.
Yeah, want to talk about new and exciting stuff?
Yeah. Well, I think I used a little bit. We've been troubleshooting here for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I think it, from when we started, I think it, a lot of people say, I've read a lot of pundits, the iPad Pro is not ready to be a notebook replacement. Would you agree with that? I know you're trying to make it one.
I got to admit, I'm now to the point that I'm pretty much able to do everything I want to do with it. The only issues I run into, like, you just have seen here, I took my headset off because I wasn't getting any sound through it. It started off, I was getting the sound through it. Everything was fine there. I have a funny feeling that it went back to the built-in microphone and built-in speaker here. So that's not a problem, but it's just not what I wanted. So,
Right.
But
I have not bought a new iPad, and I don't think I will. It's anyway. Look at it. The cheapest with the pencil, you're going to be at least $1,000. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You mentioned the sound. That's one of the things I've read, that people who do blogs, they cannot record multiple streams of audio.
Yeah,
it just locks it down. And Apple's going to have to open up the APIs and allow people access to things if they want it to really take off.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this year at WWDC we hear about some changes to iOS that might make this a little bit less problematic, because it really is getting to be a problem, because a lot of people like myself, are really trying to make it into the one unit that does it all. And, right now there are just these niggling little things that are driving me crazy. The funny thing is, the hardware is great. I love the hardware. But what I hate is, some of the apps that are out there. I think I mentioned, of course, people who have been around Apple World today for a while know that we use a content management system by the name of Squarespace. They also host our website. And Squarespace has always been a problem in terms of support for the iPad. Well, recently they came out with they said, we've got a wonderful beta of an iOS app. And I'm thinking, great, finally we can do this. So I got the thing and I put it onto the iPad, and it didn't work. In other words, it just, it was an iPhone app. It wasn't an iPad app. And I complained about it, and they came back and they said, oh, we're working on the iPad app. It'll be pretty much identical in terms of the way you can use it to the iPhone app. And they've since delivered the iPhone app. I actually, when we were on our cruise last week, I did a couple of posts where I wrote up the post in a text editor on the iPad, because it's so easy to type and do all of that. And then that was done in the Bear text editor program. Well, of course, that synchronizes to the iPhone version. So I would just grab my iPhone, get into the Squarespace app, go in and say, export this as rich or whatever it is, RTF file, pasted that into the Squarespace app, and everything was fine. And it really worked out well. So, they're saying a couple of months from now, Squarespace app for iPad will be available. And that, for me, kind of seals the deal, because there's not a lot of other big things that I really need to do with this iPad Pro, but being able to blog from it is kind of a big deal. On the other end, I do work for a couple of other blogs that I run and that some other people run, and they use WordPress. And the WordPress app is just absolutely fantastic, especially with WordPress 5.0. And so that's not a problem at all. But when it comes to that little problem of doing podcast editing and things like that, you still need a Mac for that right now.
Yeah, I had to, and I think it'll get there. The hardware is there. I mean, there's nothing like the hardware. It's just the software holding it back. You know me, and I've made no secret on our shows, and we probably have a different audience tonight. I really enjoy Android as well as iOS. Yeah. I don't have my latest Android phone, but I'm probably going to get one in March. Samsung's coming out with their new Galaxy S10, 7-nanometer process, and it's going to be, certainly in the ballpark of performance with the iPhone, because I like to work with both. There's a few things the Androids can do that the iPhone can't, that keeps me coming back and using them. Of course, I'll always use the iPhone, all my friends and family, and mainly my wife is on iPhone, and so but friends and everybody at church except maybe one couple or maybe 3 people use, because we're a small group, but still almost everyone's on iPhone. So I have the church calendar and everything set up like that. But my biggie, and I'm really waiting to see, well, not so much waiting, I'm hoping to see, and I've mentioned this to you before, I love the series or the Shortcuts app. I've written a pretty decent one to use at church. I hit a button, it turns the volume down, starts recording, sends a text to anyone that wants to log on. There's one particular guy, a truck driver, and he always wants to get it. It records for a certain amount of time, turns the volume back up and everything. But I had to manually do it. I have to set a reminder that can't trigger it. I have to look at the phone, do it. If they would just add time-based triggers to that, I want this to run every week, say Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Just that would be great.
Yeah.
You know, that would obviously be simple to do, you know, and location-based alerts, but I'll take time only. And I just, it sort of puzzles me why they can't do that. And a little side note here, one of the things, you know, on every Android phone, I can set up multiple do not disturbs for, you know,
Yeah.
if you work every day or, you know, each service we have, there's 3 different ones. I can do multiple do not disturbs, as many as I want. Apple allows 1. And I don't know why they don't really just go a little bit further and increase the automation. That is what that I need. That's what keeps me using Android as well. So I can't totally go over to iOS. I know that sounds bad. Are you going to fire me?
Yeah. No.
Lower my pay?
Absolutely not. Well, you know, it's funny. There are certain things that certain parts of the world, I guess you could say, that are so tied into iOS, and then there are others that are so tied into Android. Now, in terms of automation, like you said, Android appears to really have it hands down right now. When it comes to drones, for instance, you know, kind of my area that I'm in, if you're a DJI pilot, yeah, they've got an Android app, but it's crappy. And the iOS app works great. You can run it on iPads, iPhones, use it to, you know, control your device. And you can tell that at least for DJI, you know, which is right now about the world's largest drone manufacturer, for them, they're really focused on iOS. That could change, you know, it all depends. But right now, pretty much you see the changes, the new features coming out in the iOS version. And then maybe a couple of months later, you may see that particular function show up in the Android version. But you know, like you said, there are certain places, we brought this up before. You know, it's the best device is the one that is right for you. You know, it's the
It
one
is.
that, yeah.
I always go back to the analogy. You know, we do live on a farm. We live out here in the country, and I see more tractors go by than I do sports cars. Probably today, our main traffic was tractors. They were passing all day hauling hay to cattle. You know, if you're working the fields, you need a tractor. If you get on the interstate, you know, you need something a little faster.
Yeah.
And so that's the way it is. And that's why, you know, I'm not going to dismiss one or the other. I have different jobs that require different tools. I would love for the iPhone to be the all-in-one, but they are going to have to open up the software a little bit.
Yeah.
Before they can. Even Google Assistant, which, you know, I've demonstrated how much better it reads my voice and things. That's available on iPhone. You know, Google Assistant is an app on the iPhone, and it's really handy. Use it a lot. And with the power of the A12, it really works well. So anyway, I know I'm going over things we've talked about, but, you know, I'm sure Tim is watching. I want him to hear that, you know.
Yeah, Timo. Hey, I was going to ask you a question, though. In terms of the, whatever that thing is called, the Google Pixel 3, did you end up sending it back? Or?
I did. It just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Well, I'll tell you the reason I sent it back. I put my SIM card in it. It works. Our local carrier, Bluegrass Carrier, basically any non-GSM phone will work on our system because it's, you know, a partner with Verizon, so both are CDMA. Yeah. So any phone, I haven't seen a phone yet that will not work on our system, but the Pixel works worse than any. I popped the SIM card in it. It works, but it says your Verizon phone's now activated. Thanks, I'm on Verizon, but I sort of expected that. And but I cannot send picture messages, do any MMS at all. I can just send text. Of course, I could use another app, but in a texting app, yeah. If I take a Motorola, you know, G4, I had one for a while. I can pop a SIM in it. It pretty much does everything. All the text messaging. I think I could do the, you know, voice over LTE, everything. It worked just like one of their phones. And so did, what else have I had? Oh, I've had some Galaxy phones last year. And they work great.
Sure,
you know? Yeah, I just popped the SIM in, they work. But the Pixel, it worked less on our system than anything. And so I got to give Google credit because they gave me credit. They return the phone, but they have Samsung does not charge a restocking fee. Apple does not. Apple, you just print out a return,
Yeah,
and it's no problem.
send it
Apple's
in.
return is so easy. Samsung, I admit, is really easy too, though they take a little longer, but that's fine. But Google charges $35 return fee, and you can type 200 characters as to why you're returning it. I told them, I said, I simply cannot use text messaging. I said, told them who I was on. Thanks, I'm on Verizon. I can text, but cannot send pictures or any attachment. I said, please consider not charging me the $35 restocking fee since I can't use the phone. They didn't. So,
That's nice.
yeah, I was glad. So I wrote a little note and they didn't do it. So I've got credit with Google now because I had traded in a phone. So I need to buy something. I'm thinking about the Google Home, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah,
So,
did you get anything, any toys for Christmas? You know what toys I'm talking about.
oh, well, they had to plug in, light up, and go where and have a screen, or they
Yeah.
don't have accounts. Oh, I don't really think so. Much. Well, as far as any tech stuff, I told my wife she gave me an iTunes gift card. I was rock bottom. I used to have over $100 in there, and I was down to $1.43. So I was,
Wow.
but I have regular subscriptions that come out of it. Baseball came out last year and things like that. So honestly, as far as any tech, buying anything, actually getting for Christmas, I would say no. I'm at the point, and my wife tells me I have everything I want. You know,
Yeah.
I'm extremely practical. I say I want shaving cream, razors, aftershave. I'm happy. Something I can use. I love the tech toys, but she leaves it up to me because she knows I know exactly what I want.
Well, it's so funny with the, I really didn't get anything, around. We don't give each other gifts. We
No.
never really have because, it's one of those things. If you want it, we're gonna probably go out and get it. Except for things like cars, which
Yeah.
we always make a joint decision on. Speaking of which, you were talking about how in your neighborhood you see a lot more tractors than sports cars. My neighborhood, you see a lot more Teslas than you do
Mm.
a lot of other things. It's crazy. Since the Model 3 really started shipping in numbers, I think most of them got shipped to the Littleton Tesla store because I see those things everywhere. Everywhere I go. I mean, any drive that I take around this area, and I'm talking usually short things, going to the grocery store, going down to visit my mom, I will see 2 or 3 Teslas.
I have
And
never seen one except
whoa.
online. No.
Well, it's I don't know what's going on in this neighborhood, but man,
Yeah.
maybe they've
No,
got a
we're quite a
discount.
rural area. I mean, we're not exactly isolated. We're probably 8 miles from a major interstate that runs between Louisville and Nashville, so we can get places quickly. And our closest Apple store is 71 miles. That sounds like a lot, but I can be there an hour and a half if I need something. So, but it's usually a day trip.
Yeah.
You talking about today though, but boy, it was nice. We got to nearly 70 today. It was 67 point something.
Wow. Yeah, our
Wall to
high for
walls. Yeah.
our high was 50. Mm.
Well, we're paying for it tomorrow. I think the next 2 days are in the 30s, but then the extended forecast is all 40s, maybe toward 50s. And this is, our coldest time of year, so I'm hoping we can get through January. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping we can get some snow. They were talking about Friday here. Maybe we'll get some snow. We had some while we were out of town, so we came back and it was pretty much gone already. But anyway, that was kind of fun. Anyway, I was going to talk about the one toy that I had actually gotten it before we went, a long time before, not a long time, a couple months before we went on this trip. And I used it once, and I didn't really get a chance to try all the different functions and everything. And what this is a kind of nifty device. I like doing 360-degree video and virtual reality photos and video. And it's the Insta360. They're kind of getting into this in a big time. They're kind of the DJI of 360 cameras right now. But it's called the ONE X. And like I said, I'd gotten it, didn't really have a chance to do much with it. And then on this trip, I thought I'm going to take it along. Didn't use it a tremendous amount, but I was able to try out some of their different modes and some of the editing tricks and hints that they have now in this app. And it's really a pretty incredible device. The one thing I'm really planning on doing more than anything else is, on some of our future trips, is just doing a hell of a lot more video. Places like the Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, Bryce National Park, different places like that we're planning on going to later this year.
So the strength of this, its main thing is 360.
Well, it's the new version, this One X. It's a 5.7K image. Of course, you have to realize that that's looking at everything around. So it's still not super, super high res. If you want something like that, you're talking $3,000 to $4,000. And what they do there is actually take 6 different cameras. I had to think about it. 6 different cameras and tie them into this big processor, and they do all the stitching in real time. But for consumer 360 cameras like this is still pretty darn good. It beats the one device that I purchased last year, or the 2017, and just never got to like all that much, and that was from GoPro. It was the GoPro Fusion, and I just didn't like the way that thing worked. It recorded, it has 2 cameras, one looking in each direction, each with like 210-degree fisheye lenses in them. So it pretty much captures everything around you. Well, the 360 One X camera actually stitches all the imagery in the camera before it saves it to your little micro SD card. With Fusion, GoPro Fusion, you would actually have to dump the files off of the thing and then do it in an app on a PC or Mac. And their software was crap. So I got to admit, I'm really, really happy with this. And the fact that you can edit 360 video on an iPhone is pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Well, you asked about any toy I'd gotten, and I already had this quite a while, but I have enjoyed the iPhone XS Max. Yeah. More than any iPhone I ever have. It just works. I always like to see how long I can go without a reboot, and I think the longest, because they updated, I was at 30, maybe 31 days, but I could see no, issues or sluggishness of the apps, anything, jerky or anything like that. I think this is the best running iOS that there's been, and just absolutely blazing. The powers there is just untapped. Like we said a while ago, they need to up the software, some of the apps. I really try things to push it to its limit. I just, there's nothing that even begins to tax it.
Yeah, like I said, with the Squarespace app, the old Squarespace app that they had for the iPhone was awful. I mean, it was just a horrible piece of junk. I mean, even, I was running that initially on the iPhone 10X Max or 10X Max, 10S Max, and it still ran like crap. So when the beta came out and I was able to actually run it on the iPhone, went, this is pretty darn good. It's fast. It does, this other app, you try to move, it's like a block of text or an image somewhere, and it would just freeze up and then usually crash. This one, no, you can move stuff all over the screen, and it's just fantastic. So like you said, the hardware's there. It's just needs these little tweaks in the software.
Well, I did have one phone after the Pixel. I actually ordered a Moto G6. I've had the Moto line before, just have an Android to piddle around with. But I sent it back to Amazon. And so I'm just going to wait probably until the new Galaxies, because it's supposed to be revealed, I think, right before Mobile World Congress, probably around the 24th. And if they follow suit from last year, probably go on sale about March 8th or so, people were speculating. So that's 2 months from today. So I will wait on that. But, the iPhone, I'm excited to see what they offer this year. I know you've already seen the renders of the square on the back with the 3 cameras. I don't know. It doesn't look very Apple-esque, but You know, I never thought they would go for a notch either. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't pay. That's why I didn't buy the iPhone 10. I did not think I could deal with the notch. You know, I didn't think I'd like that look at all. But once you get look at the phone, you'd never pay attention to it. You know,
Yeah. It's kind of like you get a blind spot
I
for it.
know you don't see it. And I'll tell you what, you know, even tonight I didn't watch it, but you know, Tim Cook, I almost said Steve Jobs, was on Mad Money on CNBC at 5 o'clock, I think, my time, 4 o'clock yours or something. And I just reading some of the comments on some of the sites. He said the strength of the Apple ecosystem, and you know, is what is really going to carry them, you know, in
Yeah.
services. And of course, back here behind me, I got this large screen TV, but I've got the Apple TV, the box. I love casting like YouTube over to it because with that little
Yeah.
remote, it is the best way to watch YouTube at all. I love it. Even if I was total Android and Windows and everything else, I think I'd still use the Apple TV. I really like that box.
Hey, speaking of which, I thought it was kind of interesting that LG, Sony, and a couple other TV
Vizio
manufacturers. Yeah,
behind me.
Vizio. Yeah, you saw
I did.
yeah, the announcements. They're most of them are now going to support AirPlay 2, which is pretty cool. And I'm trying to remember what else they said. There was,
Well, Samsung was one. I think you
yeah,
pretty well named them all. But yeah, I think what they're doing is posturing themselves for their Netflix competition, you know, their
yeah,
streaming service. They want to get on every TV possible, and that'll be handy, people with the iPhone. But it's going to kill one thing, and it's probably going to kill the Apple TV. I could
mm,
be wrong, but if that goes well and they're in all TVs, why do you
yeah,
need the Apple TV box? You don't.
exactly. What are you going to need an extra box for? You know, if you can do it all in software,
Yeah,
who
right
needs
from
it?
the phone. Just send it over. But I'm looking forward to it. Our TV will be done. This is a 2017 Vizio, and so it's going to be done. So I look forward to seeing how uh, that is done. You know, we've got to
Yeah.
touch on before. Well, we've been going. We've got about 30 minutes left. We got to touch on stock prices.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. In fact, I usually get an announcement, and for some reason today I did not get the announcement. It comes into
It,
my hearing aids, which is kind of cool, but
well, this is the
uh,
first time the last week I've ever used the stock app. I just checked to see how Apple was doing. I'll
they
be
went up.
honest, I don't think they'll get back to the height they were at. It's hard to climb
No.
back up to that hill.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge hill. And I just have to love how, I mean, it's like watching, I don't know, a NASCAR race or something, and you've got the lead is changing every couple of days here. You know, Apple, when they got over a billion, and I think they got up to 1.15 billion or 1.15 trillion, excuse me, market cap, that was pretty unbelievable. And I think a lot of folks just kept thinking it's going to keep growing. It'll be $2 trillion. It'll be amazing. Amazon went boop, over a trillion for a day or two. And I don't think, in fact, it may not have even been a day. It may have just gone up during
Yeah.
the day and never closed at that. But lately, of course, Apple's down to today, $715.4 billion
What was the stock
market value.
price closing today? 140
150,
something.
almost
150.
150.75. So almost
Yeah.
151.
And of course, you know, actually, Microsoft closed the year more as a more valued company than Apple for a while there.
Well, you're going to love this because Apple is now number 4.
Wow.
Apple's at 715.4 billion. Google is at 750.7 billion. Microsoft is at 789.2 billion. And guess who number 1 is right now?
I'd have to say Amazon.
You got it. They're at $810 billion.
So
So,
all the big techs.
yeah. So everybody was in the green today. Good to see.
Yeah, that is good. You know, I like them all. I use a lot of Microsoft products. I have a Windows PC here that I don't use that much, but when I was at JAMP in 2017, you know, Brad Anderson, one of the vice presidents of Microsoft, was there, and I got to talk to him one on one a little bit, just casual. We just happened to sit more or less. He was in front of me. He was on front row. I was on second row at the keynote. And so I did that little interview with him. And I commented to him, I said, I was really hoping that the Windows Phone would take off, that we would have a third operating system. I think he answered 3 words. So did we. That's all he ever said. And, I loved how those live tiles, would show information, just all the squares. They'd rotate and update. And I've thought about that often. Apple has enough horsepower in their phone. They could do something like that, but why not do different things? If, maybe I like that. Basically, Android type launchers. If people want the classic look, let them have it. If someone wants active tiles, showing news, rotating through photos, give them that. Let them choose. I would love to have, I'm sure you've used Android enough to know about the launchers. You totally customize how the screen, I don't think Apple will go that berserk, but who knows? There's
you
a lot of
never
other
know
things.
what they're going to do.
Yeah, I know. They have actually really opened up. I never dreamed there'd be something like shortcuts that let me hit one button and send multiple people texts.
So. Well, one of the things that you brought up a little bit earlier, about the stock price and, all this and that's going to go on. I've got a post that I'm still working on, and I'm doing, it's like juggling cats right now, which I do too. But anyway,
same here.
Yeah, a lot of weird things going on all at the same time. But this one post that I'm working on, really, I've got some suggestions, I guess you could say. If I were in Tim Cook's shoes, what would I do? And some of them are absolutely obvious, and everybody's brought them up before. Like, you really do need to look at a lower price point. Huawei has come out with their top of the line phone, and it's $1,200 as well. But let's face it. I don't know if you saw the article today, but there's word going around that in China there's kind of a, as they put it, I'm trying to remember the exact term.
Well, they said there was it wasn't a protest, it was a
like a boycott. Yeah,
a boycott was the word.
It was kind of a just an informal boycott going on of Apple gear. And I think what's happened, you've got some of these companies. Huawei is crazy. They're huge right now. They're bigger than Apple when it comes to selling smartphones and probably tablets as well. But they don't sell in the US. They're selling in some other countries. If I was Chinese and I saw a really high-end phone that's made in my country, I'd buy it. And so I was looking, why not? I know that you can get cheap labor in other places, but why not automate the process a little bit more and bring more of the manufacturing back to the United States?
Well, I saw a good YouTube video. This guy compared, and I've done the same thing, but didn't make a video, high-end iPhone and like a $200, $300 Android. What can you do? And if you look at a Venn diagram, they're almost going to overlap. It can do probably 90%. Even let's lower that, 80% of the function for 20% of the price. Yeah. So that, it really is 80-20. Yeah. And people who are on a budget, people who don't fool with this stuff, who don't play with it all the time like you do, it's they're going to buy the $200 or $300 phone and call it a day. And I wrote one note for tonight's show just a while ago. I think it's one of Apple's problems, and people aren't upgrading because what they have, I had 4 words of notes for tonight. It works good enough.
Yeah.
You and I want to upgrade every year, but for most people, it just works. Yeah. I've got a screwdriver in the garage. I need to show it to you. One night, my dad found it out on a country road here, not very far from the house, back probably in the 50s. He found it. I still use it. And that screwdriver is probably 60 or 70 years old. You know why I still use it?
It still works.
It works. It will turn screws and all. And it's pretty big. I've actually can use it to dig holes in the ground, put a small plant down, make a hole.
Yeah.
But it works. I don't need a new screwdriver every year or a new hammer. It's getting to the point I don't need a new phone. we're pretty well at the saturation point. Everybody has them, and there's not any like major new features that are causing people to upgrade. And I think that's really what's happened to Apple a lot.
Yeah. Agreed. Because, well, I found when I was teaching I've kind of gotten away from that iOS class that, kept us from doing the show last fall quite a bit. But, that class kind of, opened my eyes a lot. And now, generally, I was teaching to people who were quite a bit older. I'm talking maybe 50 to 50 and above. We'll just put it that way.
Steve, it hurts. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, 40, maybe 45 and above.
Yeah.
So older people, right? And the interesting thing is that I found that a lot of people did very, very little with their phones. And when I talked about some of the things that you could do with it, they're just sitting there going, doing this type of thing. And it's like, I do a lot of these things with the phone because I know I can do it, and I like to do it, and I need to do it. But for many, many people, it's I need to make a phone call. I need to send text messages to my wife or husband. I want to check my email, and I might want to get out on social media. And, like you said, you can easily do that with either an older iPhone, a less capable iPhone, or a cheap Android phone that you can buy just about anywhere. You can get it for free from a lot of
that's why
companies.
Apple's not adding a lot of automation and stuff to iPhone, because there's probably 2 people in the U.S. that really want to do that. They're trying to cater to the mainstream. That's understandable. That's their bread and butter. And but yeah, that's a good point. I talk to a lot of people. I have a friend. She lives in the Northeast. She just got an iPhone. She was going to iPhone because she wears hearing aids, and Android could not stream to her hearing aids, and iPhone could directly. It has opened up a whole new world for her. She loves it. She's very bright, figures out most things, but I've showed her some things like, wow, I didn't know the phone could do that. And so, there's so much. People are probably using, 5 or 10%, less than that, a lot of people. Like you said, text, email, phone call, that's it.
Well, and it's, you bring that up about the hearing aids. Of course, like I said, you talk about something that's expensive. I wish Apple would come out with hearing aids because they could drop the cost by, they could go down to $1,200 and they would be considered a bargain hearing aid.
And call it I Hear.
Yeah, I hear. But, I love this accessibility. I'm looking at hearing. These that I have in my ears, you can't see them, are MFI hearing devices. I can set it up for phone noise cancellation. They've got all sorts of great stuff in there. And the company that makes this hearing aid, a company by the name of Oticon, they have an app. And I can go in and let's see if I can actually put that up there. If I needed to, what this is showing is programs. And there are, I think you can have up to 4 different programs. Let's say that I'm at home part of the day and I'm in a loud factory the rest of the day. Well, they could set it up so that when I'm in the loud environment, I'd have a second program that would filter out certain noises and I'd be able to hear others. So I could tap to do that. This also allows me to adjust the volume on the left and right hearing aids extremely easily. All I have to do is go in and swipe up on the right side for the right ear, left side for the left ear. This shows me how many hours today I've had the hearing aids in and running. This is my connection to if this, then that, IFTTT. And this is what I use to get Apple stock prices, weather reports, and stuff like that beamed to my ears. Or, anytime somebody comes to our door, the Ring doorbell says, I get, hey, Steve, there's somebody at the front door. And then, I can also tell how the rechargeable batteries are doing at any time during the day.
And I can see even on that, the graph moving as, you're getting noise.
Yeah.
I mean, so, think of that using the iPad. There's no way to screen share your phone to the iPad, is there? Well, I guess you can used to by AirPlay.
Oh yeah, I probably could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Speaking of which, we want to demo an app on here or try that for, see how things work. It used to work for us pretty good, but you never know. But I found an app that I wanted to talk about. You can remember me talking about, speaking of Microsoft, I talked about the Microsoft Classic Solitaire.
Oh,
And
yes.
my wife and I have been addicted to that. I mean, for me, it's been, I think, almost 2 years now. It's $10 a year to get the deluxe subscription, but you get a lot for it. I mean, you get some really challenging games and things like that. Well, back at the beginning of December, they came out with a word game, and it's called Wordament. And it's kind of a,
I've
it's,
not heard of this, so I'm eager to see.
yeah, it's, well, I'll show it here in a minute. Hopefully I can. But my wife and I are absolutely addicted with this thing. And I'm going to see if I can bring it up.
Well, while you're firing that up, I'll comment. You said it was $10 a year. A lot of people, they won't do those subscriptions. But you can go to McDonald's and drop $10 like nothing, and it's
Yeah.
gone. And why not buy something that you're going to have all year long for the $10?
Well, it's not gone. It's going to
Yeah,
clog up your
exactly.
arteries.
Oh,
No, anyway, let me see if I can bring up let's see, share screen. Here we go. First time setup. Oh, sorry about this, folks. I've got to add this. Okay. And then what do I need to do? Okay, well, I've got that on there. Okay, it's telling me what to do here. Oh, okay, that's cool. Sorry. Anyway, this will take just a moment, I think.
no, that's fine. And I'll try to entertain the audience while you're working.
So, yeah, what I apparently have to do here is screen recording. Oops. And, wait, no, don't do that. Stop recording. Can you still see me?
I can't. I see the Apple logo. I
Well,
mean, the Apple World today.
yeah, this is really kind of interesting because I thought I had this set up here. Let me try that again. It says, where are we? I'm going to do the screen. Okay, add that. Yeah, I've got screen recording. And then what do I need to do? Customize controls, screen recording. Got that. And then what do I need to do? Double click the home button. Huh. You see, it says that Zoom should be in my list of places that I can broadcast to. And I didn't see it, but I'm going to try it again here, folks. There it is.
Well, not on my end. I've just seen the Apple World Today logo.
Well, it should come up right now.
And there it is.
It says I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so we're going to get out of Control Center, and I'm going to bring up this great game. It's Microsoft Wordament. I'm going to get out of that and just kind of show you the layout of this thing. First of all, you have what they call the adventure, and you can see I'm already up to level 86. I'm an expert here. What they have are these different maps, these different worlds, and you would go into one, and this is a new one I'm trying to start here. Come on. Oh, never mind. I already did World 9. World 10. So it's going to start over again, and we're going to go down to the bottom, and wah, 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 wah. Here we are.
Now, can you play solo?
Yeah. In fact, this is pretty much a solo game. This is a real easy level to start off with. This is free, so you get to watch ads. Fortunately, you can get out of them. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be looking at grabbing words. So you'll notice I have, story, rots, cots, and I'm just kind of dragging these things out. And puzzle is complete there. That was a pretty easy one.
That's
Oh,
pretty neat. Yeah.
yeah, it stores this in the cloud, Microsoft Cloud there. Let's see, I think I'm going to keep the local save here because, well, I don't know.
It's a better score.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wordament level 86. I think I'm going to keep that one. But anyway, uh, that's the only problem I found with this app is it does have issues with synchronization with the cloud. And there have been a couple of times where I've completed a puzzle and I go to a different device like my iPhone and it has lost everything. The daily challenge is something that they call gem collector, and it's the same type of thing, but you basically you try to hit certain letters in the game. I really can't do it because I've already done it for the day, but you get these gems. You're supposed to collect like 30 gems in 13 moves. It can be really, really challenging. Quick play is something that you can play without being connected to the internet, easy, medium, and hard. It's great for airplanes. Multiplayer, though, we just found this yesterday, and this is really addictive because it's real time and you're playing against a bunch of other people. And they give you certain things that you can do here and there. Options, themes, so you've got a bunch of other things here. It is connected in with Xbox Live, so if you've got an Xbox Live name or handle, you can put that stuff in there. And they have these awards and achievements that you can get, which are pretty cool. You can tell some of these go for the bronze, go for the gold, go for the silver. Earn 100 stars. A lot of these I've already done, so been playing way too much. But that's, like I said, Microsoft Wordament. It's free. It's just free to download. It is tons of fun. It is absolutely addicting. And I've just been happier than heck with it. And if I can get out of, there we go. Where are we, Zoom? Hi, Zoom.
It just came across the screen that Nikkei, whatever that news service is, says Apple has cut iPhone production by another 10%. Just rolled across the top.
Wow.
So that'll make pundits give them something to write about tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what, let me see if I remember how to.
Your stock went up today, so now everybody wants it to go back down so they can buy more stock.
Well, let me see if I can share screen with you. Here, I've got one little app, maybe a tip or so. I'm going to relearn here, but new movie recording. Let's see my phone. And okay, camera is Marty's iPhone. All right, do you see a phone?
Not yet.
Okay, it's because I didn't do that. Let me share that screen. QuickTime screen, share it. Now you
there
should.
We go.
Yeah, okay, there we are. I thought I'd just show you my screen. I do have Google Assistant loaded on this phone. 27 degrees colder tomorrow. Oh, wow. Yeah, big change tomorrow. High of 36. That's pretty cold. But anyway, let's go ahead and I love Face ID. See, I wasn't even looking at it hardly. It just opens up. And so, oh, that's from my wife right now, live. She was trying to get on.
Needs an update.
Yeah, I think she's trying to check us on Facebook. Let me text her back, and I'll text her back on the Mac real quick. Hang on a second.
You bet.
Let's try. Your message was just broadcast to the world. I'll text her on the Mac here. All right, what I wanted to show you, this particular little app, it's extremely, I don't know, very small, somewhat, I guess, eclectic, but it's something that's very handy if you want to test something. I've got it in, I think, other. It's called Wi-Fi Sweet Spot, the bottom middle right there.
Okay.
Tap on that, and all it does, you hit start. and it measures the speed of your Wi-Fi in the house from the router to your phone. I'm a little over 1 gig, as you see. And that's it. And how does it work? You don't set it up. I think it's UDP port 9 on all routers, that can receive and send back packets. Okay. And if you can't use the hotspot. Okay, I'll debug that for her later. I may call her here. So let me just send. I'll help debug after our 2019 world premiere.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like the save icon on here.
I think I put world primer. All right. Now, see, I went down a little bit. I just sent a text and stuff, and other things are happening in the background. But right now, I hit record. Well, and it's going to give the averages here, the speed. I'm 2 feet from the router, so that's why that we're sorry about that. We're seeing, but this is really handy. It's really eye opener. You walk around the house and find dead spots. If it drops down to near 0, like that, that's really what this is for.
Oh, wow. See.
Like if I had a mesh router, I don't need another mesh router where I'm at. Whoops. Because I've got over 1 gig here. I can't really walk away, but let's see if I can put it under the desk and cover it any. And sure enough, my speed dropped a little bit. And not to speak of, though. And I'll put it back up here near the router. And that's all it does is just simply do stop. But I'm pegging it out right now. But it's just Wi-Fi sweet spots, totally free. And reset it here, and that's it.
That's like you said. That's really handy, though, as a tool for being able to find out where those dead spots are in your house.
It's an extremely handy tool. I have used this a lot. And let me see while I'm broadcasting here if I've got a couple of little tips. I actually used this today. Sometimes, we use do not disturb. This is an oldie, but a goodie. Do not disturb to not get calls and sounds and notifications. Sometimes I don't want maybe text notifications or email and other things, but maybe I'm expecting a call where I don't know the number, but I want them to get through. And so you can go ways down, allow phone calls from favorites. I usually have. If you put everyone, do not disturb is going to keep out every sound except phone calls. They'll get through, but every other sound. So that's, really handy. A lot of people overlook that and just have maybe favorites or no one. But
I like the allow calls from no one is like,
yeah.
Why do you have a phone?
Yeah. Just block it all. And we'll probably go over it sometime again. But I tell you what, I just love the fluid motion of the iPhone, all the hotspots and everything. Not hotspots, but I meant to say shortcuts. I actually fired up the Apple Watch.
Ah.
Okay. Ruby is in a catch-22. She can't update Facebook on her iPhone. Someone else addressed this the other day because they only allow 150 meg downloads. We've got unlimited data, but Apple will not let you download. So she has to do hotspot. And so sort of a catch-22 there. A little bit, we'll see what's going on. And, but I think that was all I was going to show. Not really any new apps. We are pretty much internet free here. So her messages, but as you see, it works well. I don't have on do not disturb, as you can tell. But I absolutely love the control panel here. One thing, and I'll add this as a little tip. You drag down from the upper right to get this. I'm connected by a dock. I do have Apple TV. So you tap it. It actually is a duplication of the remote. You can, use it here and everything, which I don't ever, but I tap it in. One little thing that people might overlook is if you wonder where airplay or not airplay, airdrop is to others. This up in the upper corner, you need to press and hold deep. It comes up with 2 more menus. And so if there's something that you wonder if you can do more, just press and hold. It doesn't matter. I don't have 3D touch turned on. These all do it anyway. And do you know I learned something about the calculator yesterday I never knew?
What's that?
Well, I will show you here. Let's just say 7 times 7 is 49. Okay. Boy, I'd love to copy that so I can use it in another app. In the blank area anywhere above 49 or before any keys, double tap, and it will copy that. And you can just simply copy. So I copied 49. So let's do a message to my wife, and she'll wonder why by press and hold.
49.
Yeah, it should be 49 there. I cannot get the paste to pop up for some reason. Sometimes I don't know if it's because, well, she's sending me something or reading. I can't get it to pop up there.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Let's try a new note here. And just try a new note, see if I can paste in here. Yeah.
There
I didn't paste it. Yeah. It didn't paste it for some reason. Whoops. Went in through Safari. Think I'm in. Let me send her a nice little emote. And sometimes, Steve, you had mentioned this. I don't know. She'll wonder why I'm sending her a number. I'm just going to send her 77. Doing the temperature.
Has nothing. Yeah,
I'll do the degree logo. But people watching thinking he doesn't know anything about the phone. But double tap, you can tap on the number, then hit copy up there, hit the word copy. I'm going to go back and see, there, paste, 49.
There we are.
Sure enough. Now let's do something, show that I did indeed copy that. And you may have well been aware of that, but a lot of people do not.
I hate to say this, but I did not know that.
Well, I'm glad I just discovered it yesterday. Let's do something a little bit more complex. 22 divided by 7. We know what that's going to be, roughly pi. Well, I'd like to copy that exact. Double tap on pi. Ooh, copy or paste. So I'll copy pi and send it to my wife. Press and hold. There we go.
And she's probably going, what the heck is wrong with you, Marty?
But 798. Let's see if it works the other way. I got selected. Let's copy. Will that go back to the calculator? I'm in the field up here. Double tap it. I want to paste it. Sure enough.
Nice.
She said in the question. I'll just have to say.
That was awesome.
Oh, using you for worldwide test. I can't even type.
Oh man, I gotta admit that was funny.
Yeah, she sent it at the right time, and so I love how you type. And if you type a word, it comes up. I type tree. She'll wonder, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I'll say this: we'll test it another time. Siri has gotten a lot better understanding me. This was an Apple World Today live test for our 2019 world premiere broadcast. And it did miss live, but that's all right. And I found out sometimes if I speak a little lazy, I need to enunciate a little bit better sometime. Well, let me.
Yeah, I was going to say
my
one, whatever you call her, speech coach when I was in high school. She used to just slap us if we didn't enunciate properly.
A little bit more enunciation with a little bit slower talk. I am from the South. It tends to run together, be a little faster maybe, and a little bit of a drawl of running them together. But if I enunciate and really separate, Siri likes that. So it's so much better than it was. I didn't mean to push us over, but a few things there.
No, actually, I love this stuff. Hey, I was just going to bring up two things before we end the show. And actually, I forgot to bring down, I'm in my basement studio here, not in space. But anyway, I forgot to bring down my really cool t-shirt that Rich Siegel from Bare Bones Software sent. He sent one to me and one to Mr. Sellers, and they're really cool. And I might be able to actually see if they've got them out on their website here. I'm going to see if I can find that. Hold on just a second here. But Bare Bones Software has been making this wonderful app called, I don't know if that's their, it's probably barebones.com or something like that. But anyway, I don't know if they're I probably have the wrong URL here. But anyway, they're the company that makes BB Edit. In fact, I'm going to do a quick search here because this is, I really want to show this t-shirt if I can, because it's really kind of funny. Bare Bones Software is at barebones.com. Okay, so we're back over here. I'll go barebones.com and anyway, they have just had their 25th anniversary of BB Edit. So they've been around for a long, long, long time. And he's sent us this t-shirt, which I don't know if you can see this close up. I wish I could zoom in on it. Oh, there I can. There we go. But it's a rebus, you know, where you
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's what it is still, if there's a still there.
All right.
Saving, he's putting money into the piggy bank. Why your ass.
I think I know the right.
So great t-shirt, and many, many thanks to Rich Siegel for that. I'm going to have to start, you know, I wish it would warm up so I could wear it and give him a little bit more stuff there. The other sponsor I'd like to, I mean, he wasn't really a sponsor, but the other company I would really like to thank is a sponsor, and a company called iMyPhone. And they've got a bunch of applications that run on iOS. As they say here, tools to keep your iPhone, iPad, and iPod running at peak efficiency. And we recently had an article about Lock Wiper, which allows you to remove an Apple ID and a lock screen from an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch where you've forgotten or do not know the passcode. The device has to have Find My iPhone or Find My iPad turned off, or it will not work. But you know, for all other purposes, if somebody gives you a phone and they go, I've had this thing around, I don't even remember what the passcode was, it's a great tool for unlocking. There is a way that you can do it just using, you know, standard Apple tools, but let's put it this way, this makes it easy. It just walks you right through there. So that's imyphone.com if you're interested in taking a look at that product. And that brings us to the end of an hour and 6 minutes, and we actually went a little longer because we were doing some stuff at the beginning of this, and then my mic dropped out. All sorts of fun things happened.
Well, I was looking at the calendar. 2 weeks is the 22nd. There is a 5th Tuesday, which we won't do. So maybe then if we skip 2 weeks, that'll get us back on 1st and 3rd, which was our original schedule from last year sometime.
You know, I know, in fact, I'm going to have to look at my calendar real quick, but I know I've got one night that I will not be able to do it because my wife and I have, well, that's the 15th. So good, we'll do it on the 22nd.
Yeah, it looks like January 22nd. Then if we skip 2 weeks, that'll be February 5th, and that will put us back to 1st and 3rd Tuesdays.
Awesome.
That was a good schedule to keep up with.
Well, you know, obviously you are on top of it, and that's why we're on schedule again. Thank you, sir.
Well, I hope we can, and I've missed doing the show. I enjoy it, showing a few tips, sharing a few apps.
Well, I think we're going to try to do a lot more video this year. for a couple of reasons. I don't know if how many people have noticed, but we have this little video window that's on our screen up there. We can actually show our videos in there as well. Now, this is a little too long to be able to put out there, but for things like 5-minute tips, that we may be able to do, we can actually put those into that little window and they'll show up in the feed. So that'll be pretty
That'll
cool.
be good.
And we can actually make some money off of it. Yay!
Yeah.
Which would be nice. So for Apple World Today, I'm Steve Sandy. This is Marty Edwards, and we will see you in 2 weeks on January 22nd.
And I might comment, we're running a little earlier than we did. We're doing 7:30 Central, 5:30 California time, Pacific.
6:30 in the Rockies.
Yeah, and so we're doing an hour earlier than we did because of winter nights. It gets dark early. So I don't know. We hadn't even talked about it. We might change come summer.
Yeah, we may have to go to mornings or something. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I missed it so much. I'm going to play the intro and outro again.
Please do. I haven't seen it in months, literally.
Well, and I don't know if we're getting the sound or not, but
I finally stopped dreaming about it.
Having nightmares.
Yeah, I can hear it in my sleep.
Okay, well, I'm going to play that, and then we'll shut off for the night.
No, I actually like it. I misheard it.
Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I like the way this works.
I'm not seeing or hearing anything. The world might be.
I do hear it a little.
I don't see, nor do I hear. It's a gray screen is all. With me and you at the top.
Okay, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great
Right.
couple of weeks. Take it easy, Marty.
I see you.
Thanks.